So I am bisexual and I do like women, but I would never date a woman.
Happy Pride Month. Today I want to do some bisexual inspired makeup since I am bisexual, whether you want to believe it or not. And since all the discourse has finally died down, I kind of want to just go over all the points that a lot of people have made about me in that video because a lot of them are just fucking ridiculous. So number one, that opening clip was obviously clickbait. If you actually watch the video, you would know that.
I actually thought I would never date a woman. It's just like, I don't think I could actually find myself settling down with one.
Obviously, I would date a woman and I have dated women. And then also to go along with that, for the people who are like, well, in order to be bisexual, you have to date women. Let me just go ahead and read you the definition of bisexual really quick. Someone who experiences emotional, romantic, or sexual attraction to more than one gender. Also, even if I simply did only hook up with women, what the fuck is the issue with that? And there's nothing wrong with wanting to hook up with somebody. Like, the fuck? Next, not once did I say that women are difficult. What I said was it's difficult for me personally to find a connection with a woman because one, I like femme women. I like very femme women. And typically when it comes to femme women, they like masculine women, which is not what I am. And on top of that, it's hard to find a femme woman who does like femme women that is more dominant, because I am not a dominant figure. I don't want to be dominant. I want to be the submissive one, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now for the whole mask women part of the video, referring the real thing, y'all twisted my words so bad. Maybe I could have said it better, but you knew exactly what the fuck I meant. So penetration from a man versus a toy or strap-on or whatever the fuck feels a lot better in my personal opinion. And I'm not talking about like the stroke of it all. I'm simply talking about the actual feel of it inside of you. It feels different. I don't care what y'all say. To me, I can feel the difference. It's like the same thing when women are talking about how like with a condom on it feels different than without it, because it does. So that on top of the fact that I'm not attracted to masked women, which is okay, there's nothing wrong with having preferences. What is the issue with me saying that I would rather just be with a man? If it feels better and I'm not attracted to masked women, the fuck? Like, y'all just want an excuse to be victims, and it's like fucking ridiculous. And then for the whole videos being like, oh my god, this is why lesbian women don't date bisexual women, la, 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 la. Like, you're literally just mad because we won't date you. Like, that was the whole outrage because I said I wouldn't date a woman. You won't date us because we won't date you. That's why you're mad. Like, it's that weird fucking victim mentality. I just feel like y'all pick a new victim every fucking week to shit on and hate on for no fucking reason and to twist their words. And I think because like it was me one week and then the next week it was that other Paris girl, the lesbian one who's a feminist and shit like that. Y'all twisted her words and started calling her a TERF when she's not that. But I also think it's funny that that happened to her. She also hopped on the trend of twisting my words, so that's funny how that works, isn't it? Karma's a bitch. But anyways, here's the final look. My bi pride flag look. I ate that down. You can't say that I didn't.
Hey, it's Erin. I wanted to do a post-breakup follow-up to my series where my partner of 7 years cheated on me, blindsided me, and left me for her assistant at work. First and foremost, the reason why I started this series is because I'm a verbal processor. So talking through my traumas actually gets me to the other side. Also, my first piece of advice is if you have a partner cheat on you and you don't have children, get out. No questions asked. You deserve better than that. Everyone says that until they are in those shoes. For me, to truly close this chapter of my life, I needed to know that I made every attempt possible to make my relationship work. I have never had issues with self-worth. I have never had issues with drawing boundaries until this happened. We're seeing a lot of discourse in the comments talking about how I probably have an anxious attachment style and she has an avoidant attachment style, but I've always had a very secure attachment style. However, attachment styles are not fixed and a traumatic event can shift your attachment style. So did I shift to more anxious tendencies? Yes, I was just cheated on by my partner who said she wanted to work things out with me. I struggled with understanding how a seemingly perfect relationship could go sour so quick. Also probably my fault for the way that I communicated this, but we've definitely had disagreements in the past, but it wasn't fights. That's what I meant by saying we had never been in a fight before. 4 years ago, we had gotten into a pretty big disagreement. This was a tell-all series where I just gave you everything good, bad, and ugly that I did and she did. I didn't attempt to leave out any of my ugly parts, and there's reason for that. It was actually eye-opening and extremely unfortunate to find out how ununique my situation was. I figured if my story helps at least one person process their own traumatic event, then my job is done. In my series, I tell everything as it happened, but I didn't explain why I did things the way that I did in the series because I just wanted to give things in real time. For sure, you could try to make a case that I devolved by messaging HR and involving her work, and some people thought it was crossing a line that I messaged the girl who she had an affair with. But here was my thought process behind that. I had given her the opportunity to be honest and be truthful with me. And every opportunity I gave her, she continued to lie. If from the very beginning she had owned up to all of her bullshit and said, I cheated on you. I cheated with Kay from work. I want to pursue a relationship with her. I do not want to be in a relationship with you. I do not love you anymore. There would not be a story here to tell. I wasn't going to involve her work. However, her boss is also my friend. We've been together for a really long time, and she's been at the same company for a really long time. And at the point in which I had messaged her boss, she had already assured me that she was no longer speaking with this girl and we were in process of reconciling. I still consider the highest form of love to be consideration. I did consider her, and I did consider that she could potentially lose her job. If she were to have lost her job, she had 2 other job offers on the table at that time, so she would not have been without work. Furthermore, when I messaged Kay, I already knew that she was not going to be willing to have a conversation with me. I simply informed her of all of the responsibilities that A and I had together in our relationship. It was not to gain control of a narrative. It was not to hurt A. At that point, I was still fully committed to A, and I was willing to do anything to save our relationship, and I knew Kay would not hear me out. I did ask A if I could send the message to Kay, and she did not want to read the message before I sent it. I had told her that she may not like some of the things that I said in the message, and she still said, you gotta do what you gotta do. It was not to gain control of a narrative. I was simply stating to Kay what A had been telling me this entire time, because you're not gonna get to play both sides. When A responded to my text message and said if I actually cared about her, I would have provided her a sense of normalcy as she moves through this, because she hasn't felt like herself in quite some time and she's actively trying to get back to herself, I interpreted that message as she wants normal at home and would like her wife at home, and she would like her girlfriend out on town and be able to go see her whenever she would like. And I wasn't about to have both sides be played. Although I still wanted the relationship to work, I was perfectly fine with walking away at that point. I loved her with everything that I had, so I had to leave it all out on the table. And I knew that when I walked away, I needed to be done for good. And that's a huge part of why I posted my story on TikTok, because now I know, no matter what, I will never take her back. Posting here has been so helpful and so healing, and I am beyond grateful for all of the love and support that I have received from so many of you. I hope that none of you ever lose yourself or abandon your own needs to provide for somebody else, because you are worth so much more than that. And if you care to follow along, my next chapter is going to be all about my healing journey and all of the things that I've learned about myself through this. Grateful for you.
Y'all asked first, so I'm gonna finally give y'all the story time on how I found out I was getting cheated on. So for context, I was with my ex at the time. We were together for over a year at this point, seeing each other every day from the day that we hung out for the first time, literally seeing each other almost every single day from there. So yeah, we were together for over a year. So it was a week in August. I was at Music Fest. I was having a good day. Mind you, I had just seen him that Sunday, and we just made plans to go to Music Fest with my friends on Friday. So at this point, I don't know if I'm just delusional, maybe, but I had not a single inkling that this was gonna happen. So anyways, I just had a good grand old time. And my friend turns to me and she goes, I have something to tell you, but I don't want to be messy, but I would want to know if I was you, essentially. So then she proceeds to ask me, does blank ever go to the gym with a girl? When I tell you, I said, what? She said, has he ever gone to the gym with a girl? And I said, no, not that I know of. Why? Then she pulls out her phone. She shows me these text messages. Bro, her friend texted her and was like, Destiny's man is at the gym with a girl. And she was basically, the friend was like, oh, we're trying to listen in to see what the vibes are, but it's they're giggling and laughing and shit. So mind you, it's 2 a.m, I think, at this point. My heart is in my ass. Text him immediately. Do you know a girl named, you know what, I'm gonna be respectful and I'm not gonna say the name, but girl, if I ever see you, trust. But I'm like, yo, do you know a girl named Blank? Obviously he's not gonna respond, but I'm up. So anyways, fast forward, he finally wakes up and texts me back, oh yeah, she's blank's ex-friend, merp merp merp, she's gay. Oh, she joined our lift because blank asked her because he had a crush on her. Blank is his friend. Mind you, like I'm like getting all these messages and I'm like, yo, this is not adding up. Mind you, hold up. I found a girl's Instagram following her from the fitness page and the personal page. Went through the pictures. Every picture had a like. Shawty has a picture with a heart covering her nipple. Why are you in her likes, bro? Mind you, I also have never been the type that like I'm like, oh, you need to unfollow every single girl. Like, I just would expect the same respect that I'm giving you. Because, like, what? Mind you, you're the same man that got mad at me for following Jalen from Love Island. The Love Island cast? What? Now, I'm sending him screenshots because I'm like, so you have to follow her from your fitness page and your personal page. He's going to say, no offense, hun, but read her name. That's just a certified personal trainer. Do you think I give a flying? This is another part. The day he was at the gym with Shawty was texting me, oh, I love you. I'm just thinking about you. Red heart. So the day that he was at the gym, I scrolled up in the messages. I'm reading the messages that he was sending me. Said, blank just joined us. Us meaning him and his cousin, because that's who he told me he was going to the gym with. So now I'm like, oh. So, but because then he said, he was saying, oh, that his cousin actually didn't come, da-da-da. So I'm like, who was the us? Blank joined us. Who was the us? So now I go even further because he used to send me his gym pictures every time after he like worked out, whatever. I look at this one picture, I zoom in. I gotta put the picture up. I'm bugging. Or that's a female leg, right? There's definitely parts I'm missing, but get this. The picture, my friend tells me, the friend that she got the information from does not even go to that gym, does not go to Powerhouse, goes to Planet Fitness. So now I'm like, also, it was the Monday and the Tuesday you went to the gym with this girl. Oh, well, I don't really remember. And like, she trains people at Planet Fit. You do remember and you hid it. Now I said that. And he says, well, I'm not hiding anything. And so I said, okay, so you didn't hide nothing, but you were withholding information. Because you could tell me that you ran into someone that you knew 7 years ago, but you don't want to tell me that you were working out with a girl. But because if someone texted him that they see me at the gym with a boy, trust he would have been pulled up. So at this point, I'm like, you're just getting caught up. So you need to get on a phone call with me and explain this because through text, you're not making any sense, Papa. Now it's, oh, I'm helping my sisters with this. I'm so busy, da-da-da-da. Like, I'll make time to have this conversation later. At this point, it's 11 a.m. He's not responding. He's not responding for hours. I'm spiraling, yo. And I'm like telling everyone like, nah, like I really don't think he did nothing with this girl, da-da-da-da-da, like delusional, because hold up. And let me just say right now, if the messages ever come out, yeah, that was me and I did say that. I will take full accountability because I did crash out. I called that man everything but a man of God. So anyways, at this point, I'm not getting any answers from you, so I'm gonna go to the source. I'm gonna text the girl. That's what I did. Hit her up and was like, oh, did he work out with blank recently? And she's like, yeah, I joined him and blank for a lift. And I was like, did y'all plan to go together? Because he's like telling me a story and it's not adding up, and he's saying all this random information like you're gay, and I'm just coming to you to get the full truth. Shawty read my message, started typing, and then left me on red for 10 minutes and then responded. This girl is gonna have the nerve to say, first off, I don't appreciate the way that you approached me without a proper introduction. That's disrespectful. What's disrespectful is you knowing that he has a girlfriend, you're working out with my man. Not only that, she goes, I'ma assume you're his girlfriend. Mind you, girl, I know you know that that's my man. Pictures are uploaded. We just had a video do over millions of views. What do you mean? Matter of fact, I'm just gonna upload the screenshot, so be prepared to pause. Okay, so got those messages, right? I'm like, yo. So then I finally get a response. It's a paragraph. Midway through the paragraph, it has something like, oh, like, you know, maybe again at another time we can try again. I said, are you breaking up with me through a text? After you just couldn't get on a phone call with me and explain yourself? Honestly, some of this story might be out of order because I think the message came before I texted the girl, I think. At this point, I'm like I'm gonna give you the chance to be thorough. If you just want to be with another person, just let me know and I'll let you have that. No, that's not what it is. I just need space to work on myself. And you know what that means when someone says that. Like, you know what that means. I just don't understand why men just lie. Like you got caught up, just accept the L, bro. Why you gotta make up all these lies that now you didn't feel valued in the relationship, this, that, the third. What are you actually talking about? What are you actually talking about? Because mind you, me and him never really argued. We really didn't. Like, we never really got into big arguments. Now you're really just pulling stuff out of your ass to make you seem like you're in the right when you still are not taking accountability that you were cheating. So you were just texting me how you just loved me so much and you were thinking about me while you were at the gym with this girl, but you were feeling so undervalued and the relationship was at an end, essentially. And I haven't even mentioned the Puerto Rico trip. He went on a solo boys Puerto Rico trip. I found out while he was on the airplane that he was following and liking girls' pictures. Mind you, there was a girl that I specifically said something about, was refollowed and reliked. So what now? I'm just supposed to be happy while you're on this solo boys trip and I just found out that you were micro cheating. Boy. And this is just a side note. My childhood dog died during this time too. I had to put my childhood dog down. So I was not well. I wasn't. I was crashing out. I was not okay. Then you're out there doing all these things, like not even keeping me in the loop. That's the one thing I asked. I just like, let me know, like if you're leaving to another place, like just let me know. I'm finding out where he's at by looking at his location. And mind you, if this was me, it would have been World War III. That's the crazy thing. So anyways, we're going back and forth for like a week, whatever, a couple days, because I was clearly upset. I'm like begging for this man back. We'll never let a man let me do that again, trust. But I thought I was in love. I really did. I just had the most peaceful year of my life and everything just came crashing down. Okay, so then also, it's like the corpse of our relationship ain't even cold yet. And I'm getting screenshots from people, like people sending me screenshots from their stories. Shawty's like posting him all the time. Like, it's like not posting him, but she's posting him. Like, I know what that man looks like, even if his face isn't in the fucking picture. Pictures of her in his house, in his bedroom, sitting drinking a glass of wine. Girl, I know what his room looks like. But yeah, so that Sunday, that was the last time that I seen him. To this day, I have not seen that man. I told him, yo, just, you know what, just drop off all my stuff, like bring it to my house, whatever. You know what he did? Did it in the middle of the night so you didn't have to face me. Pussy. But what I can say is that relationship, that breakup, bro, it felt like I did everything but die. I will never wish that pain on nobody. Nobody. Not even that shawty. Not even her. But you know what? At the same time, shawty, the same way you get them, that's how you lose them. So maybe he will do the same thing and he will feed his pain. But yeah, that's pretty much the story. And I guess like they're little boos now. The weirdos. You deserve each other. And you know what I did? I bossed up. Started taking myself to photo shoots. Got invited to so many things. And where am I now? In New York for New York Fashion Week.
Get ready with me while I tell you how my ex cheated on me. Okay, so just for some context, I met this guy at the end of 2023. We kind of like met through Instagram. I guess we had like some mutuals. He does not live in the UK, so we were just like, you know, texting a bit, and then he came to the UK because he had a job here, and then we met up, and honestly it was great. Like, there was a lot of effort from his side. And then month of December in 2023, he flew to the UK, I think like twice. So guys, there was like 24/7 texting and a lot of effort. So I was like, green flag. Okay, probably a month into dating, we confessed our feelings, which is, you know, pretty early, I know. So I just went with it because it felt good at the time. 2 weeks later, because we said that we don't want to be with anyone else, I was like, okay, so like if we don't want to be with anyone else, we might as well just like be girlfriend, boyfriend. His reaction was this. And then kissed me. Oh, and the fuck was that? And he proceeds to tell me that he has a block when it comes to relationships. I said to him, of course, absolutely no problem. Whenever you're ready, let me know. This is like mid-Jan. From there, I'm not even kidding, every month I checked in and I was like, so how we doing? Any advancement? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So then Valentine's Day came around. Didn't send me flowers, nothing. But we were saying I love you, everything. But we weren't girlfriend and boyfriend. Again, I kept asking him. He was like, sorry, I'm not ready yet. All the same, like the same bullshit the whole fucking time. In March, guys, I was developing really, really bad anxiety. I'm talking like throwing up because of anxiety. In March, I just had a feeling that something wasn't right. So I go and check like his following, which I've never done ever before. And he always was following new girls, liking their photos and I don't know what. And I was like, I don't even want to know what else you're doing. So I confronted him and he was like, oh, sorry, like in my mind I'm still single. Yeah, let that sink in. Let that sink in. He was like, I know I'm not like, you know, like you're my woman, but he would never call me his girlfriend. I should have known there and then. I should have known and just run, but it didn't. Everything went absolutely downhill. He was giving me less effort. I think the last time we saw each other was March for like 2 months, and I could just tell that like shit was not right. I had gifted him a photo of us, like framed, and he had put it in his kitchen. And sometimes he would send me videos of him like playing the piano, and the picture frame wasn't there. So I asked him, I was like, why is it not there? Like, it's a bit weird. He also learned playing the piano because of me. I taught him and he bought a piano because of me. His answer was, oh, my mom's friend who was an electrician came by and he was looking at the radiator. Electrician looking at the radiator. Okay. And I just don't like when like personal things are lying around. Guys, when someone tells you that they love you, you're just gonna believe that. You're just gonna believe it. That man was also in a toxic relationship with his work. I went to an audition for like a dream job. I got the job. The plan was that I go to his for a few days and then fly to the job after. Guys, on the day where I got the confirmation that I got the job, he calls me, and on the day that I got the job, he tells me on FaceTime, I'm not sure if I'm still in love with you. Guys, he shattered my heart into 5 million pieces. When I tell you this guy was like telling me about like moving in together and like a family and future and I don't fucking know what, and then that, I was like fucking freaking out. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna hop on a fucking plane tomorrow and we're gonna sort this out, because what the fuck, like, you're telling me you love me all these months and now, sorry. It's the worst 3 days of my life, because would not see what he did wrong, but at the same time he would never scream at me, nothing, was never like abusive in any way, you know. But yeah, I found an earring in his bedroom, and I found makeup wipes in his bedroom. And we agreed to kind of like go on a break for 2 weeks. The break was like fine because I had a lot of time to think. After the break, we talked, and he proceeds to tell me that in those 2 weeks the love came back and he was missing me. Crazy narcissistic behavior. Crazy. I obviously realized that I'm a fucking bad bitch and that no man should be treating me like that. Because, guys, I was so patient, so understanding the whole time, and would not like accuse him of anything until I found a fucking earring and makeup wipes. And so basically we ended up breaking up because I was like, you're a fucking idiot, you're a moron if you think that we can still be friends, because he was like I can't be in a relationship all this, da-da-da. And then he still wanted me to like stay in his life. I was like, no. Now to the actual how I found out. One of my friends went abroad. She was like, oh, like, I was talking to this girl, like, oh, I'm really good friends with her. She really likes you and she thinks you're so cool. And I was like, what the fuck is this bitch? I've never heard of her. And then she was like, yeah, you shared a man with her. Hold on a second. Excuse me? I messaged this girl because I'm like, let me find out what this is all about, right? I messaged her. She's the sweetest girl. Guys, she tells me that she was dating my ex while I started talking to him. So the whole month of December, when he already had said to me that he loved me, he was basically in a relationship with her, but it was like copy paste the same thing with me. He would not admit that he was in a relationship. He would tell her that she's the best, she's the only one, that he loves her so much, but would never actually be like, you're my girlfriend. Copy paste the same fucking thing. So the whole month of December, he cheated on her with me while he was also messaging and going on dinner dates, probably hooking up with his ex that I knew about. Oh, I also found photos of them in his cupboard still. So yeah, screwing 3 girls at the same time, probably even more, but those are the 3, me included, that I know about. He then proceeds to still text that girl that I was, that I got all the information from until March. No wonder he had like his WhatsApp and everything like double secure, when you need to put in another code. Yeah. Would never leave his phone alone with me, ever. No fucking wonder, man. And then the whole time we were still together, he was hooking up with multiple women where he lives, but also abroad. And apparently he's got this reputation, like people around him know. Guys, I met his family. Even though he was doing that, like he was screwing other girls. Multiple. Yeah. So that's that. It explains the taking off the frame. It explains the makeup line. Yeah. It explains a lot. What do I learn from that? Trust your fucking gut. I had anxiety and my body knew what was happening. My body was trying to tell me, fucking leave. He's still sad and alone and is never gonna grow from this. But I did. So, yeah.
I'm bored. Story time on how I found out my ex was cheating and how karma is literally always real. So you know how when a guy is calling and texting you every day and suddenly it slows down, you pretty much know something is up. So I knew something was up. So me being me and me being mature, I texted him and was like, hey, like I can see the difference in how things are going. If for whatever reason, like you no longer want to talk to me, that is perfectly okay. It's no bad blood. I feel like everyone is entitled to that. Like, I do not need to hold you hostage. Like, it is okay. Just go be free. Go do whatever you want to do. I don't care. And eventually we decided that we were going to stop talking. Once I stopped talking to a guy, we're not friends. Like, I'm not going to still be texting you because I feel like that's weird. And I feel like that's how people's feelings get hurt. He called me back like 10 minutes later. He was like, never mind. Like, I really like you. Like, I guess we'll just have to make it work. And I was like, okay, because you said it, not me. So the following week I ended up getting COVID and we were supposed to like go on a date and I couldn't go. So eventually it's Saturday and you know how you get intuition and you just know something's off. I literally called my friend and I was like, I'm about to like stop talking to him. Like, I know something's happening right now. Like something bad is happening. And she was like, what? Like, y'all just made up. Like, you're being crazy. So I called him and I was like, what's up? Like, what's happening? And he really doesn't say anything. He's like, I'm just going to let you know I'm on a date right now. And then hangs up the phone. So me now, I literally wouldn't have called him back. But like, I was sick. Like, I was like, am I hearing like what I think that I'm hearing? Like, there's no way he just casually. And I think it was the fact that he was so casual with it. Like, I didn't catch him. Like, he told me it. Like, it was okay. And I guess that kind of threw me off. So I called back and I was like, what? Like, can you like repeat that, right? Like, what did you say? So then I guess he hands the girl the phone and she starts trying to clown me, like, aha, I got your man. And I was like, well, the minute that he told me he was on a date, he was no longer my man. And I was like, 2, you clearly knew who I was. I didn't know nothing about you. So that lets me know that he knows one of us is stupid and one is not, because men are dumb. He knew that if at any moment I knew about another girl, I would stop talking to him, which I immediately did. He knew that you did not care. So that says more about you than it does me. 3, I was like, we're both getting cheated on. You don't have the upper hand because you're out on a date with a man. We are both still getting cheated on. And I told her that. I was like, so you are excited to be with a man that was lying to you and, was with another woman. Like, you're supposed to be on a date having a great time. And here you are on the phone with me. I said, that makes no sense. Like, you should literally want better for yourself. But she was just so, gung-ho on, aha, like, I got one up on you. And I was like, okay, girl. And then I just hung up the phone and she and he blocked me from everything. And I just moved on with my life. And lo and behold, like all men do, they eventually come back. And he had blocked me first. So he had the one up. When someone blocks you, you can't find their account to block them back. So he unblocked me. He tried to talk to me a couple of times after this encounter. And essentially he admitted that he ended up cheating on the girl and not wanting a relationship with her and like dragging her through the mud. And she ended up showing up at his parents' house to try to like beg to be with him and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, I dodged that bullet. But also I would never take him back or talk to him again because the disrespect was entirely too loud. And 2, I just don't like a person that's honest We literally had stopped talking because I was like, if you want to be with somebody else, you know, like I can see the messages are getting short and dry, like go be with her. I literally don't care. It's no bad blood. But you thought that you could have your cake and eat it too and keep it a secret from me because you know I would not go for that. And then you let someone play on my phone. Like, what in the world? But it is what it is. I've moved on. I just always like think of that story like once a month and I'm like, what is wrong with men? Like, actually.
Hey guys, so many of you have been asking for a story time, and so I'm gonna give one, but I'm gonna try to be like kind of condensed with it and not like too many details, but just to get the point across. But I will start with a little backstory. So I started talking to this guy back in January when I was in Africa. And then when I came back, like mid-February, we went on a date and we've been planning because we've been talking for a few weeks. On this date, he told me like that he really liked me, you know, he kissed me, everything like that. So it was going really well. That was on February 13th. So then like literally 2 days later, my dad passed away. I just want you to hear a backstory of who he was before I found out of all this. On February 15th, like, my dad passed away. I texted him. I was like, hey, I need you to come to the hospital. Like, he waited in his car, but, like, I went out and saw him, and, like, I spent the day with him just to kind of get out of the house because it was just crazy, and there was a lot of people. And so then, like, after that, we kept, like, talking and doing everything. He met my family. I met, like, his nieces and stuff, and we even went to like Broken Bow with his friends for a weekend, and like stayed in this cabin and stuff with all his friends. And so we we were pretty like serious, you know. He ended up telling me that like he loved me and that I was like his first love and everything. And because we've been talking for like 3 or 4 months, right? Okay, so yeah. But he never like did ask me to be his girlfriend. So it's true. He never asked me to be his girlfriend. But I mean, we said we were exclusive. We said we weren't talking to any other people, all that kind of stuff. So then like 3 weeks ago, we decided to just be friends. So we were totally like, okay, we're just friends because he's in nursing school. He had a lot going on. And he just said he didn't have time to give me as much as I was giving him. So then Tuesday, like this week, Tuesday, May 19th, we decided to go to the dinner and a movie, like as friends, okay? And whenever we were out, like eating and stuff, like at one point he like put his hand on like my lower back, like guiding me, and I was kind of like, okay, friend, like whatever. And then when we're in the movies, he like held my hand and like we're kind of like cuddling up in the movies. And then I whispered something in his ear. We kept like talking back and forth, and one of the times I went to whisper something in his ear, he turned and kissed me. So like obviously we're not just friends. And then when we get in the car, he kissed me again and told me he missed me and everything. And then we were driving back to Purcell for him to drop me off at my car. And we, like, talked it out, you know? And we were, like, saying how, you know, like, he can't give me all this time because of, like, school and just having his own routine and liking his personal time, even though it's summer now. So he said he'd be able to give me more time than during the school year, but still not, like, every single day. Like, you know, like, he works a lot. He does all this stuff. And, like, even when we were just friends, he was sharing his location. So I saw and, like, knew, like, oh, yeah, he's just busy. He works. He goes to the gym, like, all this stuff. So, yeah. This is already really long, but anyway. So then Wednesday, like literally the day after, so we started talking again Tuesday night. He kissed me. He told me he loved me on Tuesday night as well, like that he still loved me. And then Wednesday he goes out to like watch the basketball game with his friends. They all went to a bar. Mind you, this man is 25 years old and he's like doing this. I just feel like you're too old to be a cheater at some point. Like, I don't know, maybe you just age out of it. You should never be, but especially when you're like older, like come on. And so Wednesday night he goes and he's with his friends and he's like sending me videos all night, right? Like he's keeping me updated, but then he kind of like stops answering at like 10 p.m. And then fast forward to Thursday, I'm at work and it's 1 p.m. and he still has not texted me. And I texted him and I was like, are you alive? Like, did you make it? And he was like, yeah, like, sorry to worry you. But at this point, my coworker, my friend, she was like, hey, I have one of his friends on Snapchat. Like, let's see if he posted a story. His friend posted a story from the night before of them watching the Thunder game, and he like pans over to like the guy that I'm talking with, that I'm exclusive, and he's like really close to another girl. Like they're like leaning in at each other. And I've seen this girl before because we had a talk about her like back in March, and he was like, oh yeah, she's a girl that like used to have a crush on me, but I never liked her back. So, okay, whatever. I was just like, okay, he lied about there being girls there, whatever. So I called him during my lunch, and I was like, hey, who all went? And he starts naming off all his friends. Then he's like, and a couple friends from high school. And I was like, I know there were girls there. And he was like, oh, but you wouldn't know them. And I was like, try. Like, tell me their names. So he said, like, the first girl's name, and then he said, and then this one girl, blank. And then this one girl, that's the girl's name that I actually knew. I didn't know the first name. So I was like, why is he saying it like so nonchalant? Anyway, then he was like saying how him and his friend who he rode up there with were gonna go like eat breakfast and stuff, so he had to go, so he hung up. And then the friend that he said he was going to eat breakfast with is the same friend that my coworker has on Snapchat, and she was like, oh, let's see if his location. He's at his house in Pauls Valley, or somewhere near Pauls Valley. He's been there since 2 a.m. So he went home last night after the game. I don't know why the guy I'm talking to didn't ride home with him, so I'm like so confused. I was like, whose apartment is he at? And then, so he's been telling me this whole time, every time he's gone to this apartment, which is only like 3 or 4 times during us talking, so he doesn't like go there all the time, but I've seen the location before. He's gone to this apartment before. Even all the way back in February when we were like just started talking, like literally the same week that my dad passed, like he was up there, and I thought it was just his friend's apartment. We start doing some research because one of the videos he sent me, there was like a cat toy, but then we found out that his friend who he said his apartment he was at has a dog. And then I looked up the girl's Instagram that was this one girl, you know, she has a cat. I start looking at like her pictures, and she kind of has like something on the balcony of her apartment posted. Yeah, it's the same apartments that I'm seeing on maps. So at this point, I know this is not his friend's apartment. This is this girl's apartment. And so then I'm trying to FaceTime him, and he's like, oh, I'm trying to sleep. Like, he literally sent me a video of him laying on her couch, and he's like, bro, let me sleep, and like pulling the blanket up over his face. And I guess she knew he took this video. That's why he was saying like bruh and stuff, because I was like, you never call me bruh. Like, he doesn't call me bruh. Like, whatever. This is so long. I'm so sorry. But then finally he calls me, and he said like, I said, whose apartment are you at? And he like said his friend's name, and I was like, no, you're not. And he was like, want to bet? And I said, I know whose apartment you're at. And he said, how do you know? And he hung up, and he blocked me on everything. But me being the crazy person I am, I had already screenshotted his location. So I was at work, and I had this little thing where I could get out of work early. So I left work early. I put that thing into maps, and within 40 minutes of him blocking me on everything, I was at the door. I was knocking on the apartment door. But to get up there, I had to like kind of lie to the receptionist lady, so I feel kind of bad because I had to say like, oh, my friend, like I came in last night and I can't remember her apartment number. And she just kind of told me, she couldn't tell me the exact number, but she told me like kind of the vicinity so that I could like guess. I guess like the Lord was looking over me. The first door that I knocked on was her door, and she opened the door, and I was like, is his name here? And she was like, yes, and just like let me in. And I just walked in, and he's laying on the couch, cuddled up under a blanket, and he sits up, and he was like, what the heck are you doing here? Like, oh my gosh, you're so crazy. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm crazy. Like, I'm the crazy one. Mind you, he was literally lying to me the whole morning, like up until I literally told him, like, I caught you. So if I would have never caught him, he would have just kept going on about this. Anyway, we're all talking. I'm like telling her all this stuff. She's so confused. She had no clue. Like, she knew that he had been talking to me, but she didn't know like how serious we were or anything, I guess, or that we were even like still talking. I guess she thought we like weren't anymore. And he keeps trying to use the excuse of we were never dating. And I was like, oh, we weren't dating, but you told me I was your first love and all this random stuff. And she's just like shook. She's just standing there so confused. Well, then he gets mad that I brought her into it, so we walk outside anyway. I ended up driving him home all the way from the city to Pauls Valley. It was like an hour and 3 minutes, but it was fine because I just got to yell at him the whole time. And I literally just got to tell him how everything, like all the stuff that he did was so wrong. And I asked if he even liked her, and he was like, no, I don't even like her. And I said, so why'd you do it? Like, what was it worth like hurting me? Like after everything I've done for you? And he was just saying like, no, I don't know why I did it. I'm like a terrible person. I have issues. And I was like, yeah, finally you're telling the truth. And so yeah, the car ride was also when I found out that that's where he had been and like slept in her bed and everything way back in February. Like I remember it was February 22nd. So like it was literally like this within the week that my dad passed and that he like had told me that he loved me and everything. And so I was like, you're like confessing your love to me, but then you're going and sleeping in bed with another girl. So yeah, it was really crazy, and I just like feel embarrassed like that I trusted him for so long. But yeah, he told me that he never even liked her, but that he did love me and like all this stuff. And I was like, well, obviously not, because why would you do that? And why would you like waste, like ruin what we had for a girl that you didn't even like? Like, it makes no sense. But yeah, so now my mind is like, what the heck? Like, this guy who literally sat in my car with me and watched my dad's funeral because he couldn't make it to the actual funeral. Like, this is really how he treated me. This is what he did to me. So it sucks, but yeah, that's over. But sorry this is so long, but yeah.
Okay, story time on how we caught our friend's ex-boyfriend, but boyfriend at the time, cheating on her with his sister.
Okay, so our friend was dating this guy for like about 6 months, and we had all known each other through high school and everything. We were all really good friends, and she's a little sleepy, don't worry. Anyway, yeah, they'd been dating for like 6 months. They were really cute. They were going to the movies all the time. They were always on dates. Like, our friend, was head over heels for this guy. Like, she really liked him. And so...
Yeah. We thought they were going to get married. Like,
yeah.
He talked about rings and stuff and proposing. Because we were seniors in high school. So, out of high school, he wanted to propose to her. Which
is crazy thinking about now.
But I guess a lot of people do that. And they,
at the time, it felt like kind of normal.
Seemed kind of normal. So, one day our friend, she texts us and she's like, guys, like, I think something's up. He won't answer my texts, and he's been acting really weird recently, like not wanting to hang out as much, and he's always at home. Like, yeah. Always at home.
Which was like kind of odd for him, because he was either like always with his friends or with her, and he had like a lot of high school activities. Like, he was in band and like a bunch of other extracurricular stuff. Our school had like a lot of things you could be in. And
they're basically always together, and if he wasn't with her, like, she always knew what he was doing. They were always calling, FaceTiming constantly.
Yeah, and like when we hung out, she'd always bring him. So like we were all like kind of close with him because we were all friends, you know. We were like kind of like a friend group, kind of in a way. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, we didn't know who was doing the next part.
Anyway, so we like have a lot of parties because in high school we were always bored. We live in like a pretty small town. Well, it's not like small, but it's really boring. Like, it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's just so boring. There's nothing to do. So we throw a lot of parties, and we like do games, and we like, you know, like hang out. We play games together.
Sometimes there was like 21 plus activities, but
like that's alleged.
Alleged. We were in high school.
Yeah, like we were just.
It was casual though. Like, everyone does that.
Out, and we were listening to music and dancing, and
But
anyway,
at least that wasn't the craziest thing happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was this one house party, and our friend's boyfriend at the time, he was kind of hesitant to come, but we were like, no, come. Like,
yeah, like, it was like, there were like a good amount of people there. Like, we had some friends that were guys, and so like it wasn't weird.
Yeah, we were like,
just like inviting her boyfriend. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like a party, and like he always came, so we were like, oh, why aren't you coming? Come. It was after a football game, everyone was there. It was kind of like all inclusive. So I don't know. He was hesitant to come, but he eventually came, and he brought his sister, and we know his sister like. She's a few years younger than us, though, so we're all seniors, and she's a sophomore.
She was, like, what, 3 years younger than us?
Yeah. If she's a sophomore, like, 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
So, she came, but it was normal. Like, she had attended a few parties before, except he was just very hesitant, and then he brought his sister.
Like, invite her to, like, the, like, super, you know,
like
allegedly maybe 21 plus parties.
Yeah.
But this time, like, she was, like, getting older, and so we were like,
yeah, sure, bring her. You know what?
We had parties like that when we were her age, so we were like, okay, yeah, like, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so the party rolls around, it starts, and it's, like, kind of early, so everyone's kind of, like, it was chill at this point, and everyone kind of has, like, their Kool-Aid and stuff, kind of getting a little fun on the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, we had, like, a big cooler full of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, we were all just, like, drinking and, like...
Someone's like, let's start playing games. I don't know what we started playing, but something casual like Uno or cards or something like that.
Something nothing crazy.
And then like everyone gets a little like fun on the Kool-Aid, and so someone's like, oh my gosh, let's play spin the bottle. You know, it's a spin the Kool-Aid bottle, casual high school activity. And you know, we're all feeling it, so we all play spin the bottle. So
just looking back,
not the wisest choice.
I don't know why
but
we did that.
I don't know why
school,
everybody participated.
Yeah, that was.
And everyone was down. Like, usually it was I don't know. It went pretty casually.
Yeah, like it wasn't that serious. I mean, we were all.
Yeah, and everyone was fine with it.
It was whatever.
Like everyone, and if they had a boyfriend, like they would just not participate or something, but everyone participated.
Yeah. It was like, I don't know, we were in high school and we were weird.
It was a weird time. Everyone was a little crazy.
But yeah, then we all sat in a circle and we were all like giggling and we were playing and it was like going fine, like just like a peck, you know, every time. I mean, sometimes like not a peck, but like whatever.
You know,
it
they're
wasn't
feeling the
like
other person,
crazy
whatever.
or anything, yeah. And then our friend's boyfriend takes his spin.
It's his turn. Okay, so it comes along when it's our friend's boyfriend's turn. And she's like, it's fine, like, whatever, take your turn.
Like,
you know,
yeah, like, it's
fine.
all, like, fun and games.
Like she was fine with it, so it was fine. And no one was really gonna get that crazy with him or anything. So he spins the bottle, and, of course, it lands on his sister. Right.
And, like, we're all like, aha, like, oh, just,
like,
give
respin.
Her, like, give her, like, kiss her on the cheek or, like, respin or whatever.
Yeah, like, give her a hug, respin, kiss her on the cheek.
Like, no, it's okay.
Yeah, he's like into the game. He's like, no, this is part of the game. This is the game. Like, I have to do my turn.
It's fucking crazy.
And so we're all kind of like,
we're
we're in shock, disbelief.
We're like, okay, like,
and like our friend, she's like, wait, like what?
It's fucking weird.
But before,
I mean, everyone's like has their own family, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we're all just kind of like, and our friend, she's just flabbergasted. But before literally anyone does anything, they start fucking, they start making out.
It was fucking crazy.
Like,
it was like such an insane
sensual,
thing to watch.
passionate.
Like, and we're all just like genuinely, what the fuck?
And like,
what the fuck?
I remember some of us
What the
were like talking to each other and like kind of whispering to each other, like, are they like, they're siblings,
They're
right?
siblings,
They're full
right?
siblings, not even like step
Not,
siblings.
yeah, like if they were like steps, then like
They're full blood.
It was bad.
It was weird. So that happened, and everyone was just kind of like, okay, let's forget this. Let's keep playing the party. Like, that was really fucking
Let's
weird.
play a different game now. Yeah, like
Let's
it was
switch
just,
the
like,
game.
Fucking awkward, but like everyone was just like trying to like not.
Yeah, like what is going on?
Like,
but everyone's
let
kind
that
of
ruin
fun
the
on the
night,
Kool-Aid.
You know, like.
Yeah. So, you know, we switch the game, the night goes on, the night ends, and our friend, she's off the whole night. I mean, obviously. What would you do? She's freaking out.
She's drinking a lot of Kool-Aid.
She's drinking a little too much Kool-Aid, okay? And so, yeah, she gets really crazy on the Kool-Aid. The night ends, and everyone's going home, and her boyfriend and his sister are like some of the 3 last people there.
And like sometimes we all kind of stay at the same house because like obviously we're not going to drive, so it just kind of depends on like.
Yeah, but mostly
you're doing.
Most of the time, like her and her boyfriend like go back to one of their houses and have a sleepover together. Because I don't know, they're just in love and whatever.
Yeah.
High school, their parents didn't care. So they all stay. Him, his sister, and our friend. And that's when things get even weirder. Okay, so the night ends and like they all decide to stay. And our friend, she has this like weird, it's like out of a movie. She has this weird like pull a book and it opens a fucking like secret
Yeah, like you didn't even have to like
bookcase
pull
door.
like the book. It was just like a bookcase door. You know, like how
Yeah, out of a fucking fairy tale.
I don't know.
And so, yeah, everyone's like, oh, okay, like we need extra blankets. There's not enough blankets in here. for
Yeah,
us to
and there
all
was like
sleep.
a little office in there and like a couch and stuff. So sometimes people would sleep in there and like.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like a cool room. And so
a little too cool.
We went to bed in the living room and we were just like sleeping on the couches or whatever, and some people were sleeping in her room. And like,
and our friend is with us. She's kind of distraught at this point, and she's kind of gone on the Kool-Aid. She's passed out a little bit.
And there
we're
were
trying to console
like
her.
not enough blankets in the living room.
So her boyfriend ends up going to the bookcase room with his sister, and they're like, we're gonna go grab more blankets, like we'll come back so everyone can sleep comfortably with blankets. And they're gone for like, I kid you not, maybe an hour and a half. Or not an hour and a half, because it was less than that, because we started to wonder like, okay, wait, where's our blankets?
It was like probably like 45 minutes, honestly. It
Something
just
like
felt
that.
longer.
A long time.
And we were just like talking in the living room, like it was not like that.
Yeah, and then we realized like, oh my god, they've been gone so long, like we're cold, we want to go to bed, we're tired, we're fun on the Kool-Aid, we want to go to bed. And so we're like, wait, where's our blankets? Let's go check.
Yeah, we have to get our blankets. Like maybe they just like slept in there, whatever.
Yeah.
But we still need blankets, so.
Yeah. Okay, keep in mind, our friend, like, who owns the house that we used to throw the parties at there, she's asleep and in her room with a bunch of people, and, like, there's people in the living room asleep, and her parents, they're really chill parents. They do not care if we throw parties there, and they're gone for the weekend. So there's, like, no parent supervision, no one's awake, and then we all start getting a little curious, okay?
Okay, this is where it, like, actually gets really crazy, so you're gonna have to come back for part 2 because we do
Sorry,
not
guys.
have time to explain.
We didn't realize we
What
talked
goes
so
down.
fucking
Yeah,
much,
sorry.
but there will be a part 2, don't worry. Just stay tuned.
Y'all gotta be careful because some of these girlies will be like, eat the rich. If I was a billionaire, half of it would go to charity. And yet you won't un-gatekeep your lip combo. And yet you're trying to gatekeep.
I just found out that I've been getting cheated on for an entire week. Let me walk you through that. This guy's in the military, okay? And let me start off by saying, if Horville, USA had a mayor, baby, it's him. And if it's blonde with a hole, he's fucking it. And I knew that. I knew better. He comes home for the first time on leave and we see each other. Everything goes fine. Nothing happened because... No. And at that point, I really didn't like him because I already had to come pick him up. Ew. His friends are fucking stupid. And initially, he wanted me to pick him up from a 2-man that he didn't want to be at. No. Did not like him. Whenever he went back to wherever the fuck he was, I stopped talking to him. Like I should have fucking kept doing. So, about a month later, we start talking again. Very reluctantly, on my part, I was always extremely mean to him, and I don't know why he liked me. Couldn't tell ya. Talking to him is fucking exasperating. About a month later, we start talking again. I know. He ends up getting leave, okay? He comes back, I pick him up from the airport. He comes to my house for about 2 days, and then he has his dad come pick him up. Here's where the story starts. You see, what had happened was, he had a lot of friends that were, like, graduating high school. I don't know why he's still friends with high schoolers at the age of 20, but whatever. He was going to do this, like, senior sign stuff. I don't know. I didn't go to school. I did not go to high school, so I don't know. Whatever. He ends up calling me that night because his friend had split his head open. I asked, oh, well, is anybody else there? Oh, yeah, him and his girl. There was no other girl mentioned. Okay? Probably take him to the hospital. They did. Everything was fine. Now, mind you, I have this man's entire location and I've seen his entire asshole. Okay? Because whenever he had come to my house... Let me set the scene for you. Because I promise you this matters. The lights came off. What did I hear? Do you like the way I flick my tongue or not? I'm so for real. He had a playlist ready to go. Oh, bitch. And I should have fucking known that he was Horville, USA, because guess what one of the first thing he said to me was ever? What's your lash map? Well, let me tell you, babe. Eat her. So, of course, as soon as that happened, everything goes out the window. Okay, out the window. Oh, bitch. And then he asked me to be his girlfriend. I was hesitant. I said, yes, sure. Back to where we were. He got picked up by his dad. Senior sign shit happened, whatever. He came over on, like, Thursday, I think. Whatever. Mind you, this was after the senior sign thing. I'll explain the prevalence of that in here in just a second. Comes over on Thursday. I drop him off because he's going to have lunch with his mom. Fine. Cool. I worked on Friday. Today is Saturday. I wake up. I get a text from his friend. Weird. Where was he at last night? Why are you asking me? I said, I don't know. With his friends? What was his name? Trevor? I don't know. Never heard of a Trevor. Are you telling me he's lying? Indeed. Oh, bitch. This man had picture proof. His friend had picture proof. My boyfriend was hanging out with his best friend's ex-girlfriend all week. Went to dinner with her family. Yeah. Keep in mind, she hasn't graduated high school yet. Put this man up with Jamie Terrell's because weird. I said, if he's been with her all week, and I've been fucking him. Oh, this means that I have been sharing, baby, with some girl I don't know. Now, me and my best friend are Eskimo sisters. Chloe, I love you. I'm not doing that with nobody else. My blood pressure just went up. I need to take a minute. So I'm doing the math. And as I'm doing the math, the friend sends me a photo. It's whoever split his head open that night doing the senior sign bullshit. My boyfriend at the time, her, and some other girl. And Trevor, the friend that he was with, no, you're wrong. I was wrong. I am just baffled at the amount of sheer insufferability and insecurity comes from someone that fucks their best friend's ex-girlfriend and also cheats on their new girlfriend at the same time. I don't know how that happened. And let me tell you, the one thing that I really despised about him is how fucking much of an attention whore he was. Just loved attention. He is one of those guys that thinks that he's him and wants every girl to be in love with him and thinks that everybody just thinks that he's the shit. He's not. And frankly, the only thing special about him was the fact that Belle liked him for a little bit. That is the most interesting thing about him. And the only reason he joined the military is because he literally didn't have anything else to do with his life. And he told me that. Oh no, I have to be single and celibate again. God forbid. Yes. I'm going to add this in here. He even tried to turn his Life 360 off so that his best friend couldn't see that he was with his ex-girlfriend. He did. And on Friday, while I was working and he was with that girl, his best friend's ex-girlfriend, he was telling me how much he was just in love with me and how much of a future he saw with me. Oh. But I knew this was going to happen. I knew this. I knew. Elephant in the room just texted me. I'm going to go take care of that. Yeah. He also posts dumps on IG. Blech.
So imagine that you have been married to your husband for 13 years, okay? You're very happy and you go to the doctor for your scheduled pap smear. You know, the normal. You wait to get your results, and when your results come back, they tell you to come into the office, which is weird because they never really tell you to go to the office unless something's wrong. So then you go to the office and they tell you that not only do you have one STD, but you have two. And you're so confused because you're married and you've been with only one man for 13 years. So you're confused. So you're so confused and you start asking your doctor, like, how the fuck can this happen? And your doctor pretty much lets you know that it's, you know, from sexual, you know, intercourse, and that there's only one way to get them. So you already know your husband's doing something because it's not you. So who else is it, right? So despite you wanting to go home and confront him, you decide to take it slow and try to find out exactly what's going on. The first thing you do is that you go through the phone records, okay? You have T-Mobile, you log into the account, and you're able to see all the phone calls that go in and out and the messages that go in and out. You cannot see the actual messages, but you can see the phone number. And while you're doing this, you notice that there's one number that constantly pops up all the time. You get that number, you save that number on your phone, you go through all the social media platforms that you have, and you eventually get a match. And it's this young girl who's half your age. So you're confused, right? You're like, so you keep doing more digging. You find out that she's an employee at your husband's job. Your husband's a manager at that job, okay? So then you do a little bit more digging. You're like, okay, let me find out more. You start to drive around. You start to notice if your husband's at work, when he says he's at work. And you notice there's one day where he's not at work and he told you he was going to be at work. You text him and you're like, oh, where are you at? And he's like, oh, I'm at work, busy day, you know, and he's not at work. You literally go into the office, ask for him, and he's not there. So you start going through the bank records, right? You start going through the bank app to see if there was any transactions, credit cards. You don't see nothing. The only thing that you see is that in the morning he went to go put gas. When he went to go put gas, you notice that the amount was like 180, and he has a car. So you're like, how the fuck did he spend 180 at the gas station? You figure out the location of the gas station based on the description on the transaction. You go there and you notice that right next door there's a hotel. And as soon as you pull up into that hotel's parking lot,
guess whose car you see there? Your husband's. So you don't even know what room he's in. You don't want to go through all that hassle, so you decide to sit your happy ass outside and wait for him to come out. You have your camera ready. You already know where this is gonna happen. You already know you're gonna leave his ass, you're gonna catch him cheating, you need evidence, like, you know all this. So you stay there for hours until he comes out. 30 minutes before he normally gets home, okay, he comes out with this young girl right by his side, holding hands. You take the pictures and you get off the car. You confront both of them, and the girl runs off, and your husband instantly starts begging you and asking you for forgiveness and telling you how he's sorry and that he's never gonna do it again, like all the million excuses in the world. You simply tell him you're caught, don't come home. You go home, you lock the doors, you tell him, if you come home, we're gonna have a problem. Don't come home, I'll send all your shit to your mom's house, bye. And that's how you found out your husband cheated on you after being with him for 13 years with someone who was half your age that was his employee. And thankfully your STDs were curable. You just gotta take some medication and you are STD free. Tell me if this has happened to you, please. And I feel like this is a reminder too of why the fuck you guys need to be careful who you guys are sleeping with, because you guys don't know how people are. Unfortunately, not even when you're married. So make sure you guys are going to the doctor and getting checked, guys. Like, honestly, there has been horrible stories of people catching HIV, like horrible stories while they're married, while they don't suspect anything, men being with men, like all kinds of stuff while being married. Okay guys, so just remember to get checked out.